Okay, so I'm going to make this rant as brief as possible because I'm going to talk about Starfield. Starfield could have been a great game. Part of the reason it's not Skyrim or Fallout 4 and why it's not at all something that most of the player base want around for decades to come, like we do Skyrim or maybe Fallout 4, is because it's dead. It feels dead. It feels empty. It feels procedural. We were promised a space game, and it turns out there's no need for the spaceships. You can largely ignore ever flying around your spaceship. I mean, once it becomes starborn, you get a glorified Roomba that you never need to use, doesn't have any realistic function outside of just flying around and looking like an edgelord. We want to be in our spaceships. We want there to be a point for our spaceships, especially with a lot of procedural planets that start to feel samey after a pretty short period of time and a very limited subset of, you know, planets with in-depth content on. We need more out of our space game in space. Our ships, we want to feel like we're living in them. We want to feel like they have a purpose. Why we should spend money on them. Why we should care about them. Why we should love them. Why we should customize them. You could do that in a few pretty doable ways. I think a modder like Kingath, Eleonora, a few other people could do that pretty easily. Bethesda, you could probably do it too. Just take a moment here. You get in your ship, you leave New Atlantis, you're going to head to Neon. Maybe you have to make a couple stops as you hop between systems. Instead of just being a glorified load screen with maybe a couple seconds worth of pew pew in each orbit, maybe. How about course set, timer, top right corner of your screen? You can, at that point, have somebody else take over the piloting. Maybe you got an NPC crew member. Maybe you have your space cowboy buddy or Sarah take over, and you start wandering around your ship. Give us more modules. Give us a farming module. We have crew members that we can hire rather than them just lounging about the ship, maybe doing idling here or there. Have the ability to assign them roles. When we pick up contracts where we're taking passengers, give us crew quarters that we can assign specifically as passenger seat and give those passengers an actual presence on our ship where they're idling around in those quarters. And give us little mini games that we can engage in on our journey between New Atlantis and Neon. Like, for example, you see Sarah sitting there at a table in the Commons. Go up to her and say, "Hey, let's play some Scrabble or backgammon or poker or D&D for that matter. Play a little cutscene. Let us engage in a little mini game." We had stuff like that in like Fallout New Vegas with the casinos. We've had things like that in other games in the past. That would be a huge quality of life improvement for our space living situation there. Give us the ability when we go to a cabin that we've assigned as our captain's quarters, give us the ability to spend some time. You show a little cutscene animation of us working on the computer, then maybe taking a nap and going and getting some coffee. Speaking of which, give us like reasons why we're not just all like eating crappy fast food all the time, because like that's the chunks are the way of that's apparently all that people really eat for the most part. But give us like a greenery or a greenhouse on our ship. Where do we get the water? you know Give us things to do. Give us things to do on our ship. Let us feel like our ship is alive. As that timer runs down, maybe have like interdictors, that pirates that will knock us out of hyperspace between one system and another, that will try and attack us and steal our shit. Make those passenger journeys have the same thing happen when we stop to recharge our jump drive. have them come in and try and board our ship to take that passenger hostage. Give us a real space experience, not a glorified lone screen that we can largely ignore. And, little things like that would take away the whole, listen, this kind of feels like a low effort production, to something that we want to spend a decade playing, like Skyrim, which never felt that way. You could fast travel, sure, but you could also just run from town to town, and every 2 minutes running down the trail, you'd encounter something new, whether it be getting attacked by wolves or stumbling across like a little bit of an ancient ruin that makes you go, what the hell was this? We had that vital, living, cared for, lived in world in Skyrim and in Fallout. Things that made you go, oh, cool, or I wonder, and made us feel like we were living in that world. Starfield doesn't do that. Starfield, we feel like we're just putting our time in at the call center, man. Give us an actual vital experience where the world feels alive, where the world makes some kind of sense. Give us some depth. Anyway, hope this helps. I don't know why I'm posting it other than I want to. Love y'all. See ya. I do like Starfield. It's too boring to play habitually, though. Meanwhile, I'm still playing Skyrim, Legendary Edition, like I have for years. Anyway. All right, I'm done. Rant over. 6-7 minutes is fine.